I was building a life that felt sturdy, you know? I had security. I had all the things that are supposed to signal success. But even back then, I never really relaxed. I was always looking over my shoulder, always worrying about the unknown.
And my greatest fear, that everything I built could just disappear. It came true. It didn't happen slowly. It came down fast. First, I'd lost my financial security because of things completely outside my control. Then a huge family crisis hit, and the life we built just crumbled.
We had to watch everything go. Privacy, stability, comfort. It all got sold off just so we could survive this thing. The unexpected debt is hard, of course. But the hardest part, the most draining consequence, is the shame. It's the complex shame of having successfully built a life only to be reduced back to nothing.
And every time I look at the calendar, I feel that time panic. The fear that I've completely run out of chances to turn this ship around. And that fear is even heavier because of where I am now. My privacy is totally gone. I went from having my own space to being squeezed back into a crowded house with my family. It's just a lot. Constant noise, constant expectations. It's draining to be treated like a child again, having to swallow my frustration just to keep the peace. When that chaos reaches my own child, the exhaustion becomes unbearable. Sometimes it feels like I'm the only one actively holding the infrastructure of this crowded life together. And the work is invisible. They only notice the small mess that remains. They never see the hours I spent cleaning. Day after day, the complaints pile up, and you realize that even when you do everything right, you're never truly seen for your effort. That is why I had to quit social media. The comparison was just draining me dry. Every happy post I saw felt like a sharp reminder of where I'm not, like I'm failing and will end up with nothing to show for it. And the most painful realization is seeing that the people who were all over me when I was doing well, friends and even relatives who claimed to be family, they just kind of faded away when I started to struggle. I spent months trying to find a remote job, only to be rejected repeatedly for lack of skill or experience. That's when I realized the world wasn't going to save me. The clock was ticking, and I felt this intense pressure to contribute financially to the household. I was emotionally lost, desperate for connection, and desperately needing a new purpose. So, I hired myself. If no one will give me a job, I will create one. This channel is my haven, my space, and the job I'm giving myself to rebuild, to share truth, and to connect with others who truly understand this deep loneliness. My first step was fixing my old laptop and then just staring at it for weeks because I was too scared to actually start. But I finally made a decision. I will stop waiting for a miracle escape. I will stop waiting for a job offer. I will just build this channel. one honest letter at a time. And trust that someday this hard, consistent work will finally pay off. This quiet rebuild is more than just about money now. It's about breaking cycles. It's about building ourselves back up from the core, healing those old traumas, and destroying the stereotype of what success is supposed to look like. We are doing this to connect with those who need it most. This week, if you are also in the middle of a messy rebuild, what is the one common belief or bad habit you are working the hardest to break? Let me know in the comments. This is The Quiet Rebuild. I'll see you in the next letter.